What's going on, guys? I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. You're a returning subscriber. As always, guys, welcome back, and I do appreciate the support. Guys, this story broke yesterday. I seen this story, but I didn't touch it until more information came out. And this story right here is out of Louisville, Kentucky, and it's about this young lady up here. May she rest in peace. This woman that you see up here, and this is big news going around. The community's upset, and they have every right to be from this type of stuff going on. Listen, this lady you see up here, may she rest in peace, like I said, is 23-year-old Radasia Williams. Ladies and gentlemen, this lady was walking her child to a bus stop yesterday where she was viciously gunned down by what they're saying is a 15-year-old boy. Now, they're saying in some articles he's in custody. Other articles, they're not saying. They're saying they're still looking for him. I'm going to show you the videos in succession of eyewitnesses, what family and friends are saying, the community, and the actual article. This right here is crazy. For the longest time, people have been saying, hey, kids need to put the guns down and all this other stuff. Nowadays, they don't want to. There are people out here that revel in the destruction and death of others. We might as well come to grips with that, and so should the justice system, and start euthanizing these animals when they catch them.
With late breaking news from Louisville's Russell neighborhood, where a woman was shot and killed while walking a child to a bus stop.
Yeah, this all happening in the area of West Chestnut on 11th Street around 8 o'clock this morning. Our Blakely McHugh has been on the scene all morning for us now. She just heard from investigators. Blakely, what have you learned?
Yeah, police say the suspect is a 15-year-old. He was arrested at Shawnee High School shortly after that shooting took place, and he's now in police custody, being questioned by homicide detectives. Now, like we said, this all happened right around 8 o'clock this morning in the 11th and Chestnut Street area in the Russell neighborhood. We know that a woman was walking a child to the bus stop when she was shot by that teenager, and then he ran. Now, police had that area, again, blocked off for several hours while they looked for the suspect, also investigated the scene. We saw search dogs out here. We also saw police using helicopters in that search effort.
Kids should be able to go to school, go to the bus stop in the morning without any fear of gun violence, of having to run for their life in the morning. It's absolutely unacceptable that these types of incidents have happened now twice in the last week.
Yeah, and as Chief Humphrey mentioned, this is the second time a shooting has happened at this exact location in a 1-week span. We know that he said they are incredibly disappointed and disheartened about this. And in that shooting that happened last week, it was also a 15-year-old suspect. We're live in the Russell neighborhood. I'm Blakely McHugh, WLKY News.
Coverage on this story continues tonight as we learn more about the victim.
WDRB's Zadie Sheeny just talked to people in a crowd around a growing memorial at the site of the shooting about this woman who was killed. Addie.
Hayden, Scott, I'll step to the side so you can see that memorial behind me. There's a teddy bear and some balloons, but I actually saw a group of children that went up to that memorial, was talking to them. They said this woman was like an aunt to them. They called her Juicy. They say she's the mother of one of their friends and a neighbor. He found out that she was killed from his mom whenever he got home from school, and then the children decided to come visit the memorial a bit ago. There was a crowd here earlier in the day at the bus stop around dismissal. City and JCPS officials, nonprofits, and parents just here to pick up their children. There was also a police presence here. About 5 police cars surrounded the stop as buses dropped students off. JCPS officials were here to talk with families if they wanted. City officials, like people with the Office for Safe and Healthy Neighborhoods, were asking children if they felt safe walking home from school. We saw multiple elementary schoolers who said yes and did walk home by themselves. I talked with a man whose niece and nephew used this bus stop. He also knows the victim and her family.
This is a safe place, last time I checked. You're at a library and you're at a community center. And anytime you're near a library and a community center, you would think that the kids would feel safe going to school. Her mother and her brothers, they played on my basketball team. I've been knowing them for quite some time. Last time I heard, she was doing the same thing that she does every day, bringing her child to school, to a safe place.
This is the same area where shots were fired at a bus stop less than a week ago on the first day of school. Two 15-year-olds have been arrested in connection with that shooting, but police haven't found the shooter in this incident yet. If you have any information, police ask you to call the LMPD tip line at 574-LMPD.
Yeah, and hopefully some people have information and maybe there's some better video and pictures out there to help.
Tonight, we have team coverage of the shooting. Madison Elliott has more on the anger and frustration from the community to this violence.
But first tonight, Norman Seawright spoke to a mother who watched her friend get gunned down as they both were sending their children off to school.
Well, Vicki, we've been talking all day about the heartlessness of this shooting. It happened in front of kids and the adults trying to get them to school. I spoke with Kendra LaRue today, a mother who was walking her kids to the bus stop when the shooter opened fire, taking her friend's life.
To actually be in the midst of it and actually seeing someone hit the ground that I know is for the first time.
Kendra LaRue says she's familiar with gun violence, but never experienced it like this. She and other parents were walking with their children to the bus stop when the shooter opened fire.
My first reaction is the children. I screamed, I yelled, I made everybody get down. I have children running here, children running to the Y, children running over there right along with my daughter and a couple of her friends that she rides the bus with. And then my second reaction is to the person who's on the ground.
LaRue and the victim knew each other well, and she's been haunted since that fatal shooting.
Every time I close my eyes, I see her and I hear her breath. I hear her gasping for air.
The kids are her greatest worry right now. Their daughters are best friends.
Now I don't know how I'm going to explain to my child when she gets home that she's not here anymore. And that bothers me as a parent. I'm here for the children because I have one myself.
LaRue says any official response is meaningless unless leaders and police commit to experiencing life in their neighborhood.
There will never be a full picture if you don't get inside of the heart of the community to figure it out. If you don't do that, you won't know anything. Just get out of your cars, talk to the people, walk around, see the neighborhood, know the people. So that way we can be able to trust you, because as of right now, no one trusts anything that comes out of you guys' mouth.
And she says for leaders and families alike, listening to the kids is critical.
The children most definitely need us more than anything, especially the primary ages from 12 to 18. They need us right now.
LaRue says she doesn't actually know the victim's full legal name, but they were friends, as she said. And as traumatized as she is, her thoughts kept turning to the kids. Live in studio, Norman Seawright, WLKY News.
All right, guys, that's the story. And like I said, man, this lady, Miss Williams, rest in peace, said she was walking a child to child's bus stop. And the child was viciously gunned down by a 15-year-old boy. Now, I want you to think about how evil this shit is. And this kind of shit right here sets me off. I don't give a fuck what anybody say. They need to start eviscerating people that do violent crimes like this in the street, that cause terror and revel in it. I want you to think about something. The main story is about her. But that child is going to need a lot of counseling and support. He or she is. This woman's only 23 years old and she was walking her child. So if she was walking her child, how old do you think the child got to be if she's only 23 years old? Really young. An elementary school kid. I want you to think about that. An elementary school kid was killed. She was killed. And an elementary school kid had to see his mother get gunned down by somebody that ran off and caused a chaotic scene, and she died miserably and horribly. How do you think that child what do you think the damage, the mental, damage of that is? It's irreparable. It is. It's irreparable. When somebody pulls the trigger in the street, man, that don't make you no man. It make you a monster. And nowadays, a lot of younger people want to relish in being called the monster or a menace to society. This is what we're dealing with out here right now. In the press conference, if you guys go and look at the press conference, the Louisville Police Department press conference, an activist got mad and got into it with the officer. Man, this whole thing is messed up. I seen this earlier and I was like, I wanted to do it yesterday, but I was like, I'll wait a little bit because they just saying a woman was shot. And I already know this is one of those stories where it's going to come back out. I'd have to do another video. But, man, this is fucked up. And it's sad. It's sad that this type of shit happens. I'm telling you, in 20 years, with the way we're going, it's not going to be safe for anybody to be walking in the street. She was shot in a crowded area during school morning hours. Everybody's out. People are going to work. People are using that street. The school buses are out. All kind of stuff. He walked up and shot this woman, and the other woman was standing there. That make me think this is targeted. Either way, man, this is stupid shit. And I'm going to tell you something. These motherfuckers that run around here and pull these triggers and shoot people and run away, that's the easy part. The hard part is dealing with it when you get caught and it's your time to go. And I'm not talking about in the street. They need to have it to where criminals that do this, no matter how old they fucking are. Because it's all fun and games until you in that same position that you put others in. And they need to give them the taste of their own medicine. I just did a story yesterday. Dude with the shooting in Memphis that went around and live streamed himself shooting people, the strangers he didn't know. He crying in court because he took a deal to spend the rest of his life in jail, but he only took the deal because he didn't get the death penalty. And that's the thing I want to get at. There are always people out here that are push death on others but scared to face it themselves. And that's the problem. If you start letting people know what the effect will be from their cause, they'll start changing. We live in violent times right now. And if those punishments start matching that level of violence, you'll start to see this trickle down. And not slowly, it'll drop off. Because don't nobody want to go. Everybody like pointing a gun, but don't nobody want to be on the opposite end of that gun with that trigger pull. They need to fix this shit. I'm Stock Market Steve for the Dynamic Reason channel. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. I feel bad for that girl and her family, that woman. But I really feel bad for that child that didn't deserve that, and neither did anybody else out there that had to witness that sickness. You know what I'm saying? See you in the next video. Take care.